Hello student, I am your APD ma'am and today's topic is classification of animal kingdom. Now before going to the main discussion, let's see the term classification. Now classification is the grouping and placing of the organism in a particular rank or position, and this classification is very important for the identification of the organisms. Now according to the 5 kingdom classification, there are 5 kingdom. First one kingdom Monera, second one kingdom Protista, then kingdom Fungi, then kingdom Plantae, and the last one kingdom Animalia. And in this topic we are going to discuss the kingdom Animalia, and this is your first part of this lesson. Okay, now let's see the scheme of classification of the animal kingdom. Now see here, animal kingdom is divided into several phylums like Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and the Chordata. Now these divisions are based on some common features. What are they? Level of organization, symmetry and the body cavity. Let's discuss these common features based on which we can classify the organisms. First one, coelom. Now at first see the term body cavity. Now body cavity is the space between our body wall and our gut. Okay, now when this body cavity is surrounded by the mesoderm, then this body cavity is regarded as the coelom, and in the next slide we will discuss the term mesoderm. Okay, now let's see the pictures at the left hand side. The first one, see, ectoderm is the outermost layer, endoderm is the innermost layer, and in between the ectoderm and endoderm there is a acellular layer known as the mesoderm. Okay, and the organisms carrying this type of characteristics are known as acoelomate. At the next step, pseudocoelomate or the pseudocoelom. Now pseudocoelomates are the organisms between the coelomate and the acoelomate. In this case, the body cavity is not fully surrounded by the mesoderm, but the mesoderm is forming, and here the mesoderm becomes a cellular layer. Okay, and the last one is the coelomate. In this type of organisms, the coelom is well developed, and here see the diagram, the ectoderm and endoderm, in between there is the mesoderm, and mesoderm is divided into 2 layers, the outer mesoderm and the inner mesoderm. The outer mesoderm is present beneath the ectoderm, and the inner mesoderm is present above the endoderm, and the space between the outer mesoderm and the inner mesoderm is known as the coelom, and this coelom is very important for the packing of the internal organs. Okay, now coelomate all the organisms up to the phylum Platyhelminthes, and pseudocoelomate only the phylum Nematohelminthes or Aschelminthes, and coelomate phylum Annelida to Vertebrata, that means up to mammals. Okay, now the next concept, body symmetry. Now what is symmetry? Symmetry is actually the planning of our body, that means how the internal organs are arranged in our body. Now depending upon this symmetry, there are 3 types of symmetry: asymmetrical, radially symmetrical and bilaterally symmetrical. Now in the first case, asymmetrical. Now in this category, the organism has no plane of symmetry. That means we cannot divide the body of the organism in an exact plane. Okay, and in the radial symmetry, in this case we can divide the body of the organism by multiple planes of symmetry, and in that case each body half has a dorsal and a ventral surface. Okay, and the last one, bilateral symmetry. In that case organism possesses only one plane of symmetry and the halves are mirror image to each other, and they possesses the right and the left side. Okay, now radial symmetry can be found in phylum Echinoderms, the starfish. In that case the symmetry is pentagonal, and bilateral symmetry in case of human, and the asymmetry in case of sponge. Okay, now the next topic, germ layer. Now what is germ layer? Now during the development after the fertilization, at the gastrula stage, three cellular layer is formed: ectoderm, endoderm and the mesoderm, and these three layers are known as the germ layers, because from these three layers our internal organs, our body covering, all those things are formed. Let's see, in the ectoderm the skin is formed, at the endoderm the gut, liver and the lung, and at the mesoderm muscles, bones, kidney, blood, gonads and all the connective tissues, and these three layers are collectively known as germs layer. Now depending upon the germs layer we can divide the animal kingdom into two categories. First one diploblastic and the next one triploblastic. Now diploblastic are those organisms that possess only two layers, the ectoderm and the endoderm, and triploblastic another additional layer, that means the mesoderm. Okay, now the next topic or the next concept is the protostome and deuterostome. Now at the gastrula stage, when the archenteron or the our digestive tract is formed, a pore is formed that is known as the blastophore. Now see here at the second picture, the yellow colored marking is the blastopore, and the infolded part is the archenteron or the forming digestive tract. Okay, now if the blastopore becomes the mouth, then it is regarded as the protostome, and if the blastopore becomes the anus, then it is known as the deuterostome. And the protostome are all the organism up to the phylum Mollusca, and deuterostome from Echinodermata to Vertebrata. Okay, now these are the common features upon which we can classify the organisms. Okay, now next discuss the phylum Porifera. Now see the term Porifera. Now here pori means pores, that means their body bears numerous pores, and these minute pores are known as ostia, and there is another pore at the tip of the body that is known as the osculum. Now see the picture, here the minute spores are the ostia and the large pore are the osculum. Okay, now their body cavity is known as the spongocoel, and they possesses a special type of system known as the canal system, and this canal system acts as their digestive system, acts as their circulatory system and excretory system. Okay, now their body skeleton is made of with calcareous and siliceous spicules, and they possesses radially symmetrical body or sometimes asymmetrical body, and they are hermaphrodite and their larval form is known as the amphiblastula. And what are the examples? Scypha, Spongilla, Euplectella. Okay, now these are the real picture, and this is the central cavity, that means spongocoel, and the pores are known as the ostia, and the apical pore is known as the osculum. Okay, now the next phylum is phylum Cnidaria, and this type of organisms possess radially symmetrical body, and they are diploblastic, and there are two types of layer, and these layer are separated by a gelatinous layer, non-cellular layer known as the mesoglia. Okay, now their central body cavity is known as the gastrovascular cavity, and it is terminated into a pore known as mouth, and this mouth is surrounded by numerous tentacles, and these tentacles bear some special type of stinging cells which help in the capturing of the food, or sometimes involved in their defense system, and these type of cells are known as the cnidoblast cells. Okay, now see the picture, these are the tentacles, and inside the tentacles there are the cnidoblast cells. Now they can survive into two forms. One is polyform, that is sessile. That means sessile means they remain attached into a particular place. And another is the medusa. It's an umbrella shaped structure and free living. Now see here, this is the blue color jellyfish, this is the medusa phase. Okay, and they possesses polymorphism. Polymorphism means they can present into numerous form. And metagenesis, is a part of life cycle where they alternatively complete the polyp and the medusa stage. Okay, and their larval form is known as the planula larva. Okay, these are the some examples, and this is the cross section. The left hand side is the medusa stage and the right hand side is the polyp stage, and the examples are jellyfish, sea anemone, coral, hydra, etc. Okay.